Mishek Ogaro, an economist, joins us live to further discuss the budget. Very good evening to you, Mishek. Thank you for joining us here on News Plus. What is your take on the revenue collection measures proposed by Treasury for 2025?
I think they are fair enough. The minister was trying to balance various needs that are required. There's need to relax. Let me just say it's a relaxed budget in the sense that it meets both expectations of easing of taxation on certain sectors, which at the same time promote growth in those sectors. The calls in the market had been that the minister should make a pro-employment budget. So his revenue collection measures shows that he's promoting growth in certain specific industries, which at the same time should be growing jobs, quality jobs. I think that when you look at the way he has now tried to include some bits of the informal sector, and pointedly he has included the betting industry, is commendable. It doesn't go far enough because there is a wider informal sector which includes the so-called tuck shops. The transport sector has got a lot of probably informal operators. Those should have also been roped in so that the formal businesses which are now carrying the burden of the tax in the country can then be eased. But however, it's commendable. I think that my view is that the minister has done his best given the limited resources that are available.
And then when it comes to allocations, which sector did Treasury do well and which needs more?
That's the flip side of what I was just saying. The expenditure that is, I think the bulk of it has gone to the social sectors or the sectors that have a direct impact on the people. You'll find that I think education, health, defense, which is critical, and ICT have got, the four of these have got the bulk of the allocations, which I think is good. However, I think that, and agriculture, by the way, and this is the backbone of this economy, because the growth that we are expecting next year of 6% should be growth that can be felt by the people on the street level. So by allocating resources to these social sectors, these people can feel the impact of it. So we share that growth. So I think that's fair enough. Although maybe I think that we could have seen a bit more on the industry. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce, I think, requires more capacitation in order for them to strengthen and boost the industry, because we are going now into the African Continental Free Trade Area. And our industry at the moment is really not really ready for the competition. So we needed the strengthening of that part, even though he has given a very good tax incentive through, I think I can name the vehicle manufacturing industry. So he's trying to promote new businesses, new investments in vehicle manufacturing. He even has exempted the battery charging, investment in battery charging service stations for electric vehicles, which I think is good. So that is a boost for that sector, which hopefully creates jobs.
Now, Mishek, Treasury anticipate a GDP growth of 6% on the back of improved agriculture. Will this be attainable?
It is, because if you look historically, we have hit 6%, we have hit 7%, we have hit 5% before the drought. So it's possible. The three key assumptions that the minister has made are that the El Nino factor goes away and now we have adequate rains. If that happens, the agricultural sector would definitely grow. He also made the assumption that there would be stable energy supply. I think those are two critical factors. If these are achieved, if these assumptions are achieved, then indeed I think the 6% is achievable.
Thank you very much, Mishek, for sharing your insights with News Plus viewers. Have a good evening. Now, analysts and some government officials say the 2025 national budget was fair, given Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube had tough decisions to make.
2025 pre-budget consultations saw ministry submit budgetary requests exceeding 700 billion ZiG, which is higher than the 276.4 billion ZiG set aside for the 2025 total budget expenditure. This was a tough call for the minister, who had to balance his books to ensure everyone gets a fair share of the pie.
As Portfolio Committee on Budget and Finance, we went out to get the views of the people so that the budget that is presented by the minister is in line with the aspirations of the people. And the ministries were also asked to submit their bids that is in line with the circular. And their bids were against the projected programs.
Oversight believes the minister managed to play his card well.
What was submitted by the ministries, departments and agencies amounted to around 700 billion ZiG. But then in terms of our capacity to raise the revenue that we are able to collect is around 276 billion. So what is needed is to whittle down all those programs so that they are in line with our budget.
Government officials believe the minister prioritized the right sectors.
The budget looked at development of industries, and one of the examples is the tax removal of taxes, duty-free taxes to importers of buses, so that at least they import the kits and assemble locally.
The 2025 economic growth projections are underpinned by tight fiscal and monetary policies. This is anticipated to keep month-on-month inflation under 3%. This is one of the measures that will keep the budget in check.
Our resources fall far short enough of the requirements, but we try to live within the budget by prioritizing the expenditures. That's why even in 2024, we don't expect to overshoot the budget or budget expenditure overruns.
As the Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube unveiled the 2025 national budget, the promise of economic recovery took center stage. Analysts call it balanced. Policymakers are cautiously optimistic. Will this vision translate into real gains for Zimbabwe? Only time will tell. Reporting for ZTN Prime, I am Melissa Chatkobo in Mount Hampden.
Napo Konapo, Ipapo, ba ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.